Archangel Michael orders you to open this immediately. You have only 2 minutes left. A $1 million blessing has been assigned to your name, but if you ignore this, it will be redirected away from you forever. The time is now. Not yesterday. Not tomorrow. Now. Archangel Michael, heaven's appointed warrior and guardian of divine inheritance, stands at the edge of eternity, holding a sealed scroll, and your name is engraved upon it. This is no ordinary scroll. This is a decree written in fire, sealed with urgency, and marked with a heavenly timestamp. It is a moment designed by divine intelligence, not a coincidence, not an accident. It is appointment by alignment. And now, the clock has begun its final countdown. This message is not general. It is not for the crowd. It is for you, the one who has felt the friction of spiritual delay, the one who has wrestled in silence, the one whose spirit has been stirred even as the natural world seems still. This is a personal call from the throne room of God, delivered through the Archangel who carries heaven's war plans and heaven's blessings. There is a millionfold blessing, yes, $1 million in value, but far more in spiritual worth, that has been assigned in the courts of heaven. It bears your spiritual fingerprint. It is part of your covenant inheritance. It is not a maybe. It is not a someday. It is written. But the spiritual realm is legal, and what is written must be responded to. If you delay, it will be reassigned. If you hesitate, it will be redirected. If you close your spirit, the scroll will be sealed again. This is the season of scrolls and sealed. Heaven is releasing verdicts, and the moment you are in right now is one of divine urgency. There are only 2 minutes left, not in the clock of man, but in the prophetic countdown of your destiny. This isn't fear. This is force, a divine push toward purpose. Heaven is not waiting, and heaven will not beg. Some will hear this and feel nothing. Some will scroll past. Some will mock the urgency. But if you feel your chest tightening, if your spirit stirs, if the tears rise for no reason, then you know this is your scroll. And the one who opens it in obedience will unlock what no man, no demon, no delay can stop. Type "I am chosen" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 666 is now surrounding you. I, Archangel Michael, speak now, not in metaphor, not in symbol, but in fire. The heavens are not quiet today. They tremble with movement, for the scroll of destiny has been opened, and your name has been spoken before the throne. I come not as a messenger of possibility, but as a commander of divine certainty. This is not just a message, it is a summoning. And heaven has authorized me to speak directly to the one whose inheritance is being contested even now in the realm of spirit. There are only 2 minutes left. This is not random language. This is not a poetic phrase. This is a prophetic metaphor echoing a truth from the courts of heaven. You are standing on the very edge of an irreversible spiritual window. The Tiber is not man-made. It is not earthly. It is divine. The sands are running fast, and the shift is coming quicker than your natural eyes can perceive. You were not supposed to see this message by accident. The Spirit of God interrupted your day, disrupted your scrolling, invaded your atmosphere to make sure you didn't miss what has been ordained for you. That's how urgent this is. That's how divine this is. That's how holy this interruption is. Hear me. You are not late. You have not missed it. You are right on time to a moment that will never repeat. A moment that was assigned to you before the foundations of the earth. But this moment has enemies. This moment has opposition. And it requires not just your belief, but your obedience. As I stand in the realm between realms, with the authority of the Most High covering me, I sound the trumpet now in your direction. Awaken. Rise. Activate. The scroll I carry is burning. The wax seal is cracking. Heaven is ready to release the fullness of what your name is tied to. But know this. This is a contested blessing. You see, not everyone will receive this word. Not everyone can. Only those who are spiritually awake will hear the frequency embedded in these words. Only the chosen will recognize this interruption as a divine assignment. Others will ignore it and let their inheritance pass like wind. But not you. You feel this. You know this. You were born for this. You've been seeing signs, repeating numbers, midnight awakenings, sudden restlessness, unexplainable tears, moments of trembling in divine silence. These are not coincidences. These are markers. Heaven has been counting down. The Spirit has been nudging you, gently yet urgently, because the blessing assigned to your name is too great to be lost, too weighty to be ignored, too glorious to be redirected. And so I invoke divine attention upon your life. Heaven is watching how you respond. Every second matters. Every thought counts. Your spirit must come into alignment quickly, or the enemy will claim what is not his. Let your response be instant. Let your spirit say why yes before your mind catches up. Delay is dangerous now. Hesitation is betrayal. You are not being asked to figure it all out. You are being asked to trust and obey. I have fought battles you could not see. I have pushed back forces that tried to delay your breakthrough. And now I stand before you with the final instructions. Open your spirit. Respond with reverence. This is your moment of divine interruption. Heaven is moving, and it refuses to let this scroll fall into the wrong hands. The inheritance is real. The clock is real. The 2-minute warning is now. Type I am anointed in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1122 is now activated. There has been a whisper, a strange silence beneath the noise of your life, a shadow that passes through your moments but leaves no trace. And though you could never explain it, you felt it, the tightness in your chest, the chill in a warm room, the sigh before sleep that carries no peace. This is not paranoia. This is not stress. This is spiritual disruption, and it has been engineered to make you miss your moment. There is something watching you, not to admire, but to devour. There is a presence, cloaked in deception, lingering in the background of your life, hoping you never awaken fully to your divine calling. Its entire assignment is indirection, and it has been tracking your patterns, analyzing your cycles, manipulating time and energy, waiting for you to stay distracted just long enough for the blessing to bypass your name. You've noticed the strange behavior around you. Doors that seem to open, but only halfway. Opportunities that feel almost perfect, until they vanish in smoke. People who were close to you suddenly shift, withdraw, or betray without reason. These are not coincidences. These are interceptions. Delays engineered by unseen forces to keep you looping through discouragement, doubt, and delay. And let's be honest, you felt it in your bones. Something in your spirit has been crying for clarity. You've looked at your reflection and questioned why you're still in the same place, even though you've been sowing, praying, fasting, and believing. But the reason for the delay is this: you've been marked, and because of that, the war around your life has intensified. You are not cursed. You are not forgotten. You are targeted, because you are chosen. And the forces of darkness are hoping you'll give up just before the release. They want you weary. They want you numb. They want you emotionally disrupted so you can't discern that what you're feeling isn't failure, it's transition. Yes, transition feels like torment when you don't understand it. But hear me, beloved soul, the restlessness, the confusion, the sorrow, they're not signs of weakness. They're indicators that you are standing on the edge of a release so heavy, so holy, that the enemy is throwing everything he has to block it. The blessing has not been denied. It's been withheld, waiting for the fullness of time. And that time has now arrived. This is why the attacks intensified. This is why the warfare became silent. This is why the blessing started almost manifesting, but didn't fully unfold. Because someone had been hoping you missed this message. That you'd scroll past. That you'd fall asleep spiritually. That you'd say maybe later to what heaven calls right now. But you're still here. You're still listening. And that means one thing: you are still in position. Your obedience in this moment will be the act that rips the blessing out of enemy hands and places it into yours. Don't let emotional confusion steal what's already been assigned to you. The inheritance is not the problem. The war around your discernment is. Stay awake. Stay open. Stay ready. Type "I will not miss my moment" in the comments if this word is for you. Blessing code 444 is now encircling your spirit. Beloved, if this word is stirring something deep in your spirit, then you already know. This is more than a message. It is a mantle. When you partner with this prophetic mission, you're not just helping content, you're sowing into souls, unlocking destiny in lives across the globe. As it is written, "Give, and it shall be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over." Luke 6:38. This is not a verse. It is a heavenly transaction being offered to you right now. I hear the Spirit say, if this message has confirmed what you've been sensing, then act. Respond. I've assigned you here not just to receive, but to release oil for others. Let your giving become a prophetic strike. Let your support release a divine ripple into the lives of the broken, the bound, and the blind. You're not funding a video. You're fueling a fire. You're not donating to a platform. You're investing in the shaking of the heavens and the setting free of souls. To support this mission, tap Super Thanks or become a channel member to walk alongside us in spreading God's urgent word. Want to sow special seed? Our PayPal link is in the video description below. Do not delay. Sow into this moment before the thrall sails shut. You must understand this now. The resistance you've been feeling has nothing to do with your worth, and everything to do with your destiny. The battle is not random. It is not personal in the way you think. It is not because you are weak, unworthy, or forgotten. It is because you are called, and what you carry in your spirit poses a threat to every dark force that has ruled your bloodline, your atmosphere, and your territory until now. The conflict you've been caught in is not earthly. It is cosmic. It is a battle waged in the high places, a war fought in the shadows, where angels clash with principalities. And I, Archangel Michael, the commander of God's armies, have been dispatched with sword in hand to stand on your behalf. But this war is not fought with human hands, and victory will not come by flesh or logic. It will come by obedience. You see, delay does not always mean denial, but it always reveals warfare. Every delay you've encountered in this last season, the closed doors, the silence from heaven, the friends who vanished, the jobs that rejected you, the opportunities that teased and then disappeared, none of this was coincidence. These were signs. These were signals. These were spiritual alarms meant to wake you up to a deeper reality. You are in the middle of a spiritual transaction, and the enemy has been trying to block the final release. But here's what he didn't count on. You're still here. You're still believing. Still listening. Still standing in the posture of surrender, even with tears streaming down your face and questions thundering in your mind. That is what makes you dangerous. That is what makes you chosen. And that is why this final attempt to stop your inheritance is so violent, so urgent, so strategic. What you must see now is this. The war is not about what you have. It is about what you're about to access. You've been battling the storm, but what's really happening is the enemy is trying to intercept your scroll. He wants to prevent you from recognizing your authority, from walking through the gate that has now opened in the spirit. He wants you to quit in the final 2 minutes of the prophetic countdown. But I, Michael, have been authorized by heaven to war for your inheritance, but I need your agreement. I cannot override your will. I cannot force your alignment. You must choose to obey. You must choose to believe, even now, when the fire rages and the confusion screams. Heaven is watching your response. The scroll is in my hands. The wax is melting. The time is burning. And I say this with the full authority of the throne. You are standing on the battlefield of your breakthrough. And your silence, your hesitation, your fear, these are not neutral. They are dangerous. They give permission to the thief. But your obedience, your yes, your surrender, these are weapons sharper than any sword. The eyes of heaven are upon you, not in condemnation, not in scrutiny, but in expectation. You are not alone in this war. I'm here. Legions are here. And more importantly, God is here. But the line has been drawn. The war has escalated. And now, the outcome rests in one thing: your response. This is your moment. The enemy is loud, but he is not victorious. He is active, but he is not in control. The blessing has been assigned, and the battlefield is being cleared. All that's left is you, and what you choose to do next. Type "I stand with heaven" in the comments if this word has pierced your spirit. Blessing code 777 has now been released over you. Hear me, and hear me clearly. We are no longer waiting. The window has opened. The shift is happening. The scroll has been unsealed. And even as I speak, the countdown in the realm of spirit draws closer to its final seconds. This is not a moment to casually reflect. This is not a word to shelve for later. This is your final divine warning. You are standing at the edge of a transfer so large, so supernatural, so irreversible, that if you miss it, it will be given to another. Within the next spiritual cycle, something will either break open or fall away, and the result will depend entirely on your response, not on emotion, not on wishful thinking, not on what you want to happen, but on how you align. Archangel Michael is not here to comfort your complacency. I am here to enforce a heavenly order that has already been decreed. Your name hath been written on a blessing that carries not only financial release, but generational transformation. $1 million blessing is not just a number. It is a code, a divine marker of increase, influence, and authority. It has been assigned. It has been approved. It has been wrapped in fire. But as with all heavenly blessings, it waits for activation through obedience. And heaven has now issued a final warning. If you remain distracted, if you delay even a moment too long, it will be redirected. Someone else has already positioned themselves to catch what you ignore. Yes, another has seen the signs. Another has discerned the timing. Another has studied your movement, waiting for the moment you hesitate, so they can grab what was written for you. That is the level of warfare surrounding this blessing. The pressure is real, because the breakthrough is dangerously close. Can you feel it? The pressure in your spirit, the tension in your atmosphere, the way things around you suddenly seem unfamiliar or fragile. That's not anxiety. That's prophetic friction. It means the veil is thinning. It means the realm of heaven is pressing against the fabric of time, urging you to act before the gates shift. There is a reason heaven keeps repeating this message to you, through signs, through numbers, through dreams, through divine interruption. It is because you are standing in a moment that cannot be recovered if missed. When God moves in time, He moves with precision, and those who delay in obedience disqualify themselves from the fullness of what was reserved for them. Let me be clear, this blessing is prepared, but it is not automatically claimed. It is like manna. It falls, but you must gather it. It is like oil. It pours, but you must position your vessel. It is like a scroll. It opens, but you must read it, consume it, and respond to it. The throne has released it. The angels have secured it. But only you can say why yes to it. Only you can catch it in real time. If you wait too long, you won't even know it's gone until it's resting on another's life. And by then, the transfer will be sealed. You will look around and wonder why the very thing you once prayed for is now in someone else's hands. And the answer will not be punishment. It will be redirection caused by hesitation. So I urge you, I charge you, I command you in holy urgency, do not delay. Heaven is not waiting. Hell is hoping. But God is watching. Type "I will not hesitate" in the comments if you receive this instruction. Blessing code 888 is unlocking over your life right now. Be still now. You heard the urgency. You felt the pressure. But in this moment, hear the instruction, for the scroll is open and heaven is issuing its divine strategy. Stillness is not passivity. It is warfare in disguise. And this is not a time for panic, but for precision. Heaven does not react. Heaven moves with intention. And right now, you are being called to silence, not because you are weak, but because the silence will shield you. You are being instructed not to respond with noise, but with discernment. Silence is your sword now. Not every door must be knocked on. Not every voice deserves an answer. Not every feeling must be spoken aloud. For there are ears listening in darkness, hoping to interpret your next move, and so heaven says, remain still. Speak only when the Spirit leads. Move only when the Spirit confirms. I, Archangel Michael, have been commanded to guard the path you are walking. But hear me clearly. I do not war in the flesh. I war in the unseen, in realms that your human eyes cannot pierce. And so, you must resist the temptation to fight battles with words, emotions, or reaction. This moment is not about defending yourself. This moment is about aligning yourself with the voice of God. Do not argue with those who misunderstand your silence. Do not explain yourself to those who mock your pause. They are not your judges. They are not your audience. The courtroom that matters is in heaven, and your scroll is being read there, not here. You are being judged by obedience, not by noise. This is your holy pause. Understand, the enemy cannot read your mind, but he watches your actions. He listens for your leaks. He scans for your confessions. So heaven's strategy now is simple. Conceal what is sacred. Let the enemy grow confused by your calm. Let the devourer walk in circles, trying to trace a trail you no longer leave behind. The covering over your life is increasing, but only if you stay in the shadow of obedience. And here is the mystery. While you do nothing in the physical, I fight everything in the spiritual. Every accusation that was rising, silenced. Every curse spoken behind closed doors. Ears. Every demonic strategy mapped against your destiny. Scatter. But this protection only remains intact when you refuse to step out of alignment. Heaven is not just protecting your finances. Heaven is protecting your name. your mantle, your movement, your voice. You are in the birthing canal of destiny, and every unnecessary movement could risk the delivery. Stay in position. A divine covering is over you now, not because of who you are in the eyes of man, but because of who you are in the eyes of the Most High. You are marked, and that mark attracts both miracles and warfare. But the seal on your life cannot be touched by any hand of hell if you remain under the shadow of obedience. Declare this now: I will not miss what heaven has marked for me. Let that be your sword. Let that be your shield. Let that be your stillness. Because even now, behind the veil, I am battling. Swords are clashing. Scrolls are opening. And heaven is preparing to release what only obedience can unlock. But if you move ahead without divine clearance, you walk uncovered. And that, beloved, is the most dangerous place to be. So breathe. Stand still. Listen deeply. Your next instruction is coming. And when it arrives, move like lightning, but not before. Type "I will stay under God's covering" in the comments if you receive this instruction. Blessing code 1919 is now surrounding you like a shield. Hear this now, for the winds have shifted. The veil is lifting. The shadows are clearing. And I, Archangel Michael, now speak not as a warning, but as a witness. I have seen the battles you've endured. I have stood between you and the sword of death. I have intercepted the curses hurled against your life. And now I declare this over you: you are no longer the overlooked one. Heaven has called your name in a tone you've never heard before, not with pity, but with power. The days of crawling in silence, of praying through clenched teeth, of watching others ascend while you wait in the valley, those days are closing. The page is turning. The story is shifting. You have been hidden, but you were never forgotten. You have been delayed, but you were never denied. You were being forged. You were being prepared. What the world saw as weakness, heaven was shaping into strength. What others called your quiet season was actually your consecration. And while they ran ahead, you were being rooted. While they chased platforms, you were being purified. And now, at this divine threshold, I speak this as heaven's decree: your wings are unfolding. You will no longer walk into rooms doubting your worth. You will no longer second-guess the authority in your voice. The identity of rejection, abandonment, and fear is being stripped off your spirit. You are not just called, you are commissioned. You are not just chosen, you are activated. Let it be known in every realm: you rise today with the fire of heaven in your bones. The fire that cannot be quenched. The fire that purifies. The fire that separates the called from the casual. That fire is on you now. You've cried for transformation, but transformation doesn't come quietly, it comes with heat. And that heat has been burning in your life for months, maybe even years, and now you realize it wasn't punishment. It was preparation for power. The wings of your destiny are not ornamental, they are weapons. Your voice is not soft, it is seismic in the spirit. When you open your mouth in alignment with the Spirit of God, chains break, Darkness trembles. Legacies shift. And now, heaven is demanding you believe this. You are no longer who you were. You are not bound to your past. You are not limited to what people have said about you. You are not defined by who didn't love you, who didn't choose you, or who didn't see you. Heaven has seen you. Heaven has chosen you. And heaven is now releasing elevation, acceleration, and multiplication. This is not coming. It has already begun. Even now, while you listen, there are things unlocking in the spirit realm. Scrolls are unfolding. Mantles are falling. Doors are opening in places you haven't even knocked. Why? Because heaven moves when identity aligns. And now that you see who you are, everything must respond accordingly. Circumstances will bow. Enemies will scatter. Resources will appear. Because the spiritual atmosphere around you has shifted. You are no longer trying to find your calling. You are stepping into it. Let this be your decree. I am no longer bound to the old me. I rise as heaven's weapon. And I, Michael, will go before you still. Not to rescue, but to escort. Because you're not hiding anymore. You're rising. Type I rise in power in the comments if this word has confirmed your identity. Blessing code 7070 is now moving through your atmosphere. Let the truth be unveiled now. Let the mystery behind your suffering be shattered like glass. For this entire time, while you wept in silence, while you waited in shadows, while you questioned your own calling, heaven has been orchestrating a reveal so powerful, so disruptive to hell's agenda, that it required layers of concealment to protect what was being built in you. This is the season of your unlocking. This is not just breakthrough. This is prophetic fulfillment. And the weight of the blessing assigned to you is not symbolic. It is not figurative. It is literal, tangible, and generational. I speak now with the authority of the Most High. The $1 million blessing attached to your name is not a wish. It is a divine manifestation of heaven's intention to publicly confirm what has privately been fought for. Do not reduce this to money. This blessing represents more than finances. It represents the oil of overflow, the restoration of what was stolen, the recompense for years of silence, rejection, and invisible labor. It is heaven's signature on your life. It is a banner of vindication raised before every voice that doubted, mocked, or underestimated your anointing. Why do you think your life has been marked by strange warfare? Why have you been surrounded by people who couldn't celebrate you, who constantly shifted, who loved you one season and turned cold the next? Because your life has been carrying a hidden scroll, and those not assigned to your next season couldn't handle the glory resting upon you. Their exit was not rejection. It was divine filtering. You see, every delay was timed. Every disappointment was permitted. Not to break you, but to prepare you. Because the blessing about to break forth from heaven is not small. It will be seen. It will draw attention. And heaven needed to ensure that your heart would not be seduced by applause nor crippled by opinion. The prophetic blueprint over your life required pressure. It required silence. And now that the final seal is breaking, I reveal this truth to you. You are the one God chose to carry legacy. Not just for yourself, but for those who come after you. The $1 million blessing is not for self-indulgence. It is for impact. It is for kingdom infrastructure. It is for the rebuilding of altars in broken places. This is why the enemy fought you so violently, because he saw what this blessing would birth. And let it be known, heaven is about to prove your favor. This blessing is not the result of striving. It is the result of surviving. You endured when it would have been easier to quit. You obeyed when it would have been easier to conform. You stayed when others walked away. And now, the divine scale has tipped. Let them talk. Let them doubt. Let them watch. Because they will see it. They will witness what heaven does for the obedient. You are about to walk into rooms you didn't even know existed. You are about to carry influence you never sought. You are about to receive access, visibility, and resources without compromise. Because you are not being promoted by man. You are being elevated by decree. The $1 million blessing has your name written in the fire. It is time to receive it, not just as a miracle, but as a confirmation. You are chosen. You are trusted. And you are about to overflow. Type "I am unlocked" in the comments if this revelation has pierced your soul. Blessing code 1616 is now breathing through your destiny. If this prophetic revelation has cracked open something in your spirit, if you feel heaven confirming what your soul has always suspected, then hear this. You were never called just to receive. You were called to release. Partner with this divine assignment and help awaken others to their scrolls, their blessings, and their breakthroughs. Heaven is releasing blessings in waves, and your giving becomes a divine echo in the spirit, a holy agreement that says, I believe in this word. I stand with this mission. Like the woman with the alabaster jar, your seed becomes a fragrance before God, a testimony of faith, honor, and obedience. The word says, the generous will prosper. Those who refresh others will themselves be refreshed. Proverbs 11:25, that's not a quote. It's a living promise, and it's flowing right now for those who respond. This moment is sacred. This assignment is urgent. If this word has unlocked you, then sow into the unlocking of others. Tap super thanks or become a channel member to help amplify the voice of this ministry. You may also give through PayPal using the link in the video description. Your seed is not just support, it is strategy. Move now, before the gates of this word close. Now is the moment. Not a moment. A moment. This is the line in time where destiny no longer waits. This is the place where hesitation becomes forfeiture and bold obedience becomes inheritance. This is where heaven's scroll is no longer being read to you, but being placed in your hands. And I, Archangel Michael, stand as witness between the realms, watching to see if you will rise and declare, I am ready. Destiny does not activate by accident. It doesn't open through casual belief. It responds to command, to alignment, to action. And now, heaven is waiting for your yes, not a passive yes, not a silent wish, but a charged, prophetic, earth-shaking yes that splits open the atmosphere and causes the scroll to unfold completely. Every second you remain undecided, the spiritual clock ticks louder. Not because God is impatient, but because the gate hath been opened, and it cannot remain open indefinitely. Hear this, heaven waits for your yes, but not the yes of comfort, the yes of covenant. The yes that says, I will walk through fire if it leads to promise. I will obey even when my feelings scream. I will move even when my knees tremble. That is the yes that activates the scroll. That is the yes that draws down the blessing. Your spirit has already known this was coming. That's why you felt so restless. That's why nothing else has satisfied. That's why doors opened and still felt empty. Because heaven was not inviting you into temporary comfort. It was pulling you into eternal assignment. You were not called to blend in. You were never designed for ordinary. You were forged in fire for a moment like this. This blessing is not just about what you receive. It's about what is released through you. When you say yes, destinies are unlocked. Territories are claimed. Chains are broken off others who are waiting for your obedience to activate theirs. This is a holy domino. One movement in your spirit causes a chain reaction in the realm of glory. That's how important your decision is right now. I speak this as divine command. Rise. Respond. Release. Say yes with your mouth. Say yes with your movement. Say yes with your mindset. Because this is your scroll. And scrolls are not passive. They are royal decrees. The angels are watching. The devourer is watching. And the Holy Spirit is hovering, waiting for your faith to meet this moment. No more delay. No more fear. No more shrinking into the background while others walk into blessings that were written with your name. Your name has been cleared. Your assignment has been confirmed. The atmosphere is primed. This is no longer prophecy. It is activation. It is happening now. This is your command center. This is your spiritual ignition. Lift your voice. Stand in your room. Say it with holy fire. I say yes to what heaven has written about me. I say yes to the scroll. I say yes to the $1 million mantle. I say yes to my divine assignment. Because the scroll does not respond to silence. It responds to surrender. And surrender, in this hour, is not weakness. It is power. You are being called not to survive anymore, but to govern. You are not just being rescued. You are being released into authority. But only those who respond now will see it manifest in this cycle. Heaven does not wait forever. The scroll is open. The angel stands ready. The moment is here. Type SAYYS in the comments if you are claiming your scroll. Blessing code 3030 is now unlocking doors and dimensions in your name. While you slept, something sacred was happening. While you were tossing and turning, praying and doubting, believing and breaking, there was a silent exchange occurring in the spirit realm. No trumpet, no noise, no announcement, just holy transaction, divine justice, and your name was spoken. I, Archangel Michael, was present in that exchange, not just as a warrior, but as a witness, a scribe, and defender of the divine inheritance tied to your obedience. The things that looked stagnant in the natural have actually been shifting in the invisible. While you were wrestling in your soul, heaven was documenting your surrender. While your mind was weary, your spirit stood trial. And the verdict has now been issued. Restoration is being released. Hear me. You have not been ignored. You have not been overlooked. You have not been bypassed. What seemed silent was actually sacred. What felt like stillness was actually a strategic reordering of realms. You thought nothing was happening, but behind the veil, the scroll was being moved from shelf to courtroom, from courtroom to altar, from altar to your hands. And now, the transaction is nearly complete. What was stolen is now being transferred back. Not returned as it was, but multiplied, upgraded, pressed down and running over. Every tear you shed has been bottled. Every groan you released in secret has been echoed before the throne. I watched as the angels brought evidence, your praise when you were in pain, your giving when you had little, your obedience when no one applauded. These became incense. They became legal proof that your faith was real. And because of that, you've been found trustworthy. There is a weight to this blessing, not because of its value in currency, but because of its significance in the kingdom. The $1 million mantle is not random. It is divine strategy. It is heaven placing tools into the hands of a vessel who has proven unshakable. You didn't just pass a test, you demonstrated loyalty under fire. And now the court of heaven has responded with a decree. Release what belongs to them. They have waited long enough. But here's what you must understand. This exchange had been silent on purpose. God didn't broadcast your battle because your reward will be louder than your warfare. He didn't expose your struggle because he's about to exalt your name in a way that will silence every whisper. Your process was private, but your promotion will be public. And when it happens, it will not be explainable. It will not be logical. People will not understand, but they will see it. Because what is sealed in the spirit must eventually manifest in the natural. This is not imagination. This is intercession fulfilled. You didn't dream this. You discerned it. You didn't hope for it, you were chosen for it. What you feel shifting inside your chest right now is not emotion. It's spiritual alignment. It's your spirit sensing that the exchange has already occurred, and the manifestation is now catching up with your faith. So be still no longer. Be afraid no longer. Be confused no longer. The veil has been torn. The transaction has cleared. The blessing is on its way. The scroll is in motion, and your hands are next. Let this moment settle in your soul. Heaven has already said why yes. Now all that remains is for you to receive in full what has already been decided behind the veil. Type I receive the transfer in the comments if you know this word is for you. Blessing code 5151 has now sealed the transaction over your name. Now the scales begin to tip. Now the courtroom doors swing open. Now the gavel falls. I, Archangel Michael, stand at the threshold of divine justice, and I declare every scheme against you is boomeranging back. What was aimed at you in secret shall now be judged in public. What was whispered behind closed doors is being exposed under heaven's light. You have been falsely accused, wrongfully delayed, strategically sabotaged, but the time for injustice is over. Heaven has ruled in your favor. Let the word be established. Justice is not coming. It has arrived. You waited while others advanced. You stayed faithful while liars were celebrated. You stayed clean while others manipulated. And though it seemed like the wicked prospered, know this: heaven was watching. Every tear, every sigh, every silent choice to walk in integrity when corruption tempted you, it has been recorded. And now the record is full. The angels are moving, and what was delayed shall now be delivered with interest. The divine reversal is here. That which was meant to bury you will now build you. That which was sent to break you will now bless you. The very voices that mocked your silence will soon be silenced by the sound of your overflow. The tables are turning, not slowly, but swiftly. The time for your vindication is not next year, not someday. It is now. You have wondered, why was I stripped? Why was I left out? Why did they betray me when all I gave was love? And I say to you, it was not for your destruction, it was for your distinction. Heaven was setting you apart. Because if the blessing had come when you were surrounded by the wrong voices, they would have claimed credit for what only God could do. Let this ring in the halls of your spirit. The same people who mocked your process will witness your promotion. They will see you walk in wombs they never imagined for you. They will hear your name in places where they once said you didn't belong. And when they ask how it happened, they will not be able to explain it. Because this blessing, this $1 million blessing, is not the fruit of favor with man, but the reward of alignment with heaven. Every delay you faced wasn't failure. It was a holding pattern to protect you until the conditions were right, until the traps were exposed, until the atmosphere was pure. And now that it is, heaven is releasing what was held back. It will not come to you barely. It will not arrive bruised. It will come multiplied, pressed down, shaken together, running over. Not just money, not just opportunity, but legacy, favor, healing, visibility, and restoration in every realm of your life. God is not just restoring things, He is restoring timelines. What you should have received 5 years ago, He is giving you now in full. The years the locust ate, He is repaying them with harvest. The moments of being overlooked, He is answering them with divine recognition. The nights of no answers, He is compensating with scrolls full of strategy. The delay was real, but the reversal is undeniable. And to every demonic force that tried to intercept this moment, hear this declaration from the throne of God: access denied, authority revoked, judgment rendered, favor released. It is done. The sword has fallen. The books are balanced. The oil is flowing. Type "justice is mine" in the comments if you know this divine reversal belongs to you. Blessing code 4242 is now commanding the shift in your favor. It is done. The decree has been released. The scroll has been opened. The courtroom of heaven has rendered its final judgment in your favor. This message did not find you by chance. It summoned you. It was a divine appointment, set in eternity, to wake your spirit, ignite your faith, and call you into position. You have stood in the fire. You have been proven in silence. You have endured the stripping. But now, the mantle rests upon your shoulders. The $1 million blessing has not been removed. It has been reassigned to you with force, with oil, with fire. This final word is not just a reminder. It is a release. You are chosen. You are covered. You are rising. This blessing is not a reward for performance. It is an inheritance for obedience. You were faithful in obscurity, and now heaven rewards in visibility. Your name is known not just among men, but in the heavenlies, spoken in angelic ranks, sealed in scrolls of dominion, written in the records of the redeemed. You are not at the mercy of time. Time now bends to your assignment. The blessing will chase you. The doors will open before you. The wealth will align with your purpose. The resources will come, not for vanity, but for victory. You are stepping into the scroll. You are stepping into divine overflow. And now I, Archangel Michael, release this final affirmation over you. You are sealed. You are seen. You are sent. Let the fire of destiny consume hesitation. Let the oil of heaven fall in every area that was dry. Let the scroll fully manifest in your hands. No more delay. No more detour. No more doubt. His moment hath been written. His scroll has been opened. And your response has triggered the full activation of heaven's plan. Type "I am sealed" in the comments if this scroll belongs to you. Blessing code 9999 is now overflowing into your atmosphere. If this message lit a fire in your spirit, then you already know. This wasn't just a word, it was a weapon. You've just received the scroll of prophetic destiny, but now you could help place a scroll in someone else's hands. I invite you now to take part in this divine ripple. When you give, through super thanks, through membership, or through PayPal, you're not just sowing into a channel, you are activating the oil for the next soul heaven wants to reach. Heaven declared, I will open the windows of heaven and pour out a blessing there will not be room enough to contain. Malachi 3:10, that word is alive, breathing, waiting on your obedience. Let this be the seed that says, Lord, I believe this word. I stand in it. I sow into it. I protect it. Click super thanks or become a channel member now. Or use the PayPal link in the video description. What you sow in faith, God will return in fire. Don't miss the window to give into what just unlocked your spirit.